Wow. Dynamic tables. Oh, cool. Snowpark machine learning. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Sorry, I was using my new glasses to see all the new amazing things that were announced at Snowflake Summit. Just what, wow, like 3 weeks ago now already. Hey, everybody. I'm Snowflake data superhero Keith Belanger here, and I'm super glad you guys are able to join us for this special edition of Behind the Cape. Um, where myself and some fellow data superheroes are going to give back a little bit of our takeaway from what we experienced at Summit this year. And personally, there was so much, obviously, all the announcements, and I'm not going to go into grave detail. Some of my other colleague data superheroes here will kind of dip into some of those. But on a personal perspective, I always enjoy networking and speaking with folks who are using Snowflake and leveraging it in their day to day businesses and seeing how folks use these solutions sometimes in ways I would never think of. And it's always great to get those perspectives and see how these solutions can be used. Obviously, lots of partners, networking and interacting with them. Really enjoyed getting to meet the other Snowflake data superheroes in person that were there. We all kind of spent a lot of time communicating virtually, but always great to meet people in person. Um, was very privileged and honored and grateful to have met the founders of Snowflake. That was a great experience. So with that, I'm gonna kind of ask my other Snowflake data superheroes to give us a little bit of a what did you take away from Snowflake Summit this past year?
I had a fantastic time at Summit. I thought it was brilliant. Mainly, I got to meet a bunch of people that I don't normally get to actually meet in person, both colleagues and both people in the wider Snowflake community. Keith, you included. But it was great just in general to get together and actually be able to have conversations with people that aren't through a screen. Um, Adding to that, all the booths and the tours and just walking around, again, you can get a load of webinar based tech demos and you can have the odd chat with someone, but actually being in a room talking to people and hearing exactly what they're saying and being able to ask questions and actually have that kind of personal level to things, I think that's really useful. So those are the two kind of standout reasons why I like attending Summit specifically in person, other than the third and most importantly, all the new stuff that's announced and actually being there and being able to find out about all the new stuff. And we have a load of new stuff. Main things really that interested me. There's a whole load of apps and Snowpark, and I'm big on Snowpark, but a load of people will be saying how good Snowpark is and how good the apps are, and that's going to be the big buzz right now. So I'm going to back away from that slightly because I'm not just going to repeat more of what everyone else is saying. We all know it looks really exciting and cool. The actual thing really to me that stood out is the combination of dynamic tables, which are just massively simplifying so many pipelines that we've got with customers. And I was quite excited to hear about this new warehouse optimization piece that's coming, being able to just track what's going on with your warehouses a lot better, improve all the performance there. We I think a lot of people have their own solutions to warehouse optimization, warehouse tracking, and all that stuff. It's just really cool to see it coming from Snowflake themselves in a way that looks like it's going to be packaged in a really helpful and supportive way. And that's my little snippet really of what I took from Summit.
Summit was so amazing this year. This is my second time at Summit and my first time as a data superhero. And I can tell you that it made all the difference in the world. So a lot of people are going to talk about some of the amazing product announcements at Summit. So I'm going to tell you about my favorite things that weren't product announcements at Summit. I loved getting the chance to meet the other data superheroes in person, some amazing conversations with them about what they're doing with Snowflake and how we can help other customers and help our customers better. My favorite superhero event was getting to meet some of the product people at Snowflake and the founders and executives. That was such a treat. And thank you so much, Howard, for setting that up for the superheroes. I also really enjoyed just talking with people in the base camp area, getting to meet people at lunch and dinners and just networking and chatting about Snowflake and how much we love it and how we can make it better and what we're doing with it. Um, meeting with all the different products that were there was so much fun. So many people have great ideas how to use Snowflake and how to make it better. And the ecosystem to put around it was so fascinating. One of my favorite products that I was introduced to was this cool data catalog chat bot. It basically integrated ChatGPT essentially, so AI and a data catalog. So you could ask it questions about like, hey, I need to see all the data sets that have person X in them, and it would just find them for you. So I thought that was really phenomenal and fascinating. My favorite keynote was the builder keynote. That was so exciting and so much fun. I loved the demo that they did. All the actors were phenomenal, and they really showcased the power of Snowflake with the new products and features that they've built. So that was really cool. I'm not sure if it's recorded, but if it's not, you should. If it is, you definitely should see it. And that is some of the things that I loved about Summit.
Hey, Keith. So yeah, a couple things that I've been really excited, just reflecting back on what was announced at Snowflake Summit. Hands down, the biggest one was Snowpark Container Services. I'm a co-founder of a company called Select. We're in the partner ecosystem. Snowpark Container Services is really exciting because it will open up this whole ecosystem of development where either a company like I run or a single developer out there can go and create a rich interactive application that runs entirely in the customer's Snowflake account. So the Snowpark Container Services gives the flexibility of bringing a container with any programming language or runtime or other kind of dependencies that weren't previously supported, and that gets shipped and run directly in the customer Snowflake account. So that was by far, I think, the biggest announcement, one that I'm the most excited about. The second one is more on the performance and cost optimization side of things, where again, I focus all my time. And that announcement was dynamic tables. So for those who don't know, dynamic tables is a feature that is similar to materialized views. So the whole idea behind it is you tell Snowflake, here is this SQL expression that defines how a table should be created. So it could be a simple select statement with some filters, or now with dynamic tables, it could involve joins, aggregations, group bys, window functions. So that's kind of the big thing. One of the big things that wasn't supported before of materialized views that is now available in dynamic tables. And so why this is so exciting is it is a much lower effort way to schedule and run a table you want to create on a recurring basis. So you give Snowflake this SQL expression, which again can now be much more complex and rich in terms of feature support. And Snowflake will automatically take care of running it when new data arrives. So that's a really important thing. A lot of customers can just run things on a simple schedule, which results in unnecessary compute because no new data has come. So it's just reprocessing that data that already exists. So that's kind of one advantage. Another advantage is it automatically does the incremental processing. So this is one of the biggest things people struggle with, is like correctly doing incremental data processing, because it's hard. Like you have to think about all these different things, like how should I filter each of my input data sets? What's the right high watermark I should use? How do I account for late arriving data? Dynamic tables abstracts all that. So super excited about that announcement. Looking forward to exploring it in more detail in the coming weeks.
Hey everyone, Jyoti Pathak here, one of the Snowflake data superhero. And oh boy, it was an incredible time in Vegas. And guess what? It was snowing like crazy. But the real excitement for me was the announcement between NVIDIA and Snowflake and the partnership. It's like a match made in data heaven for me. We are all talking about AI, Gen AI, LLMs, et cetera, but is it possible without being able to process data at scale? And that's where Snowflake comes in. So together, NVIDIA and Snowflake, oh, I'm so ready for the AI factory. But the real fun or the real magic for me was meeting the two co-founders of Snowflake for a happy hour. So as part of the Data Superhero program, we get to meet together with the co-founders, and oh my God, meeting those legions was amazing experience for me. Thank you, both of them, for taking some time and giving us some valuable insights. And wait, the last one I want to talk about is the document AI. Oh, wow, now you can process any types of document within Snowflake database. It's like the mind-blowing uh, feature that has been introduced. So it was a great experience meeting all the Snowflake data superheroes over there. Mostly all of them made it there. Great time spent with all the booths, looking at the new startups coming up. It was like crazy busy data in the data enthusiasts summit. Loved it over there. I hope to see you all next year in June in San Francisco.
Hey, this is Frank Bell with IT Strategist, Snowflake Solutions Exponential, and I'm super excited about some of the new things that we got out of Summit. The most thing, we've been working with native applications with Snowflake since February or March 2022, and to finally see them come out in public preview to be able to be used, and we're pushing out some of our applications onto the marketplace, including Snoptimizer. To see that full cycle of where it's come, and we really think that native apps is really going to be a game changer, where Snowflake is actually delivering on the promise to actually disrupt data application development. So we're pretty excited about that, especially the next couple months where Streamlit's going to get more integrated and better. The framework's already great, the versioning on it is already really good, and there's just a few more touch-ups. Besides that, super excited about dynamic tables, to see that go to public preview as well. Another kind of game changer different way to have data sets be dynamically created. And then, the NVIDIA partnership, the LLMs, there's huge traction in that, pretty excited about that. And then also the Iceberg tables and the work they're doing there. And then finally, we were working with the Snowflake, very, very old version of the streaming API, where it was the Kafka connector, probably like 2019 I presented on it. And to see how much that has come forward, that we're really pumped as well to see Snowflake streaming API get released and be improved. So it's a great summit. Thanks for coming, and hopefully it was insightful to you.
Hey everyone, this is Shankar from Microsoft. One of the key takeaways for me at the summit is the new partnership that we announced between Snowflake and Microsoft. This is key and crucial for all of our customers. And the summit also does come with different announcements that I'm excited about, especially about the container services and the native apps. And at Microsoft and Snowflake, we have also introduced a couple of new integrations that we announced at Summit around the Azure machine learning integration with Snowflake, as well as the Power Apps integration with Snowflake that customers can now start using Power Apps on top of Snowflake. So the summit has been a great experience. I'm pretty sure you all who have attended have enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you more.
Tim Spreitzer, Data Superhero, Las Vegas, Nevada. Keith, thank you for having me on. Snowflake Summit was awesome. This was my first one. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommended it. So much. The new announcements were exciting, were great. The best part was probably meeting people face to face that you've worked with for years, 3+ years in Snowflake for myself, meeting multiple people, Elsa, Howard, the Snowflake staff, fellow data superheroes. That was great. That's really important, the face to face. I'd like to say something super witty, but the number one biggest one, and I know everybody's talking about it, and it's the buzz, but the AI and the LLMs, like Jensen Huang, CEO and founder of NVIDIA, was talking about, computing 2.0. It took me back, I'm dating myself, to the old Star Trek movie. I think it was the one where the whales were making the sounds and they had to save the whales. But Scotty from the future goes to the past and tries to work with the computer and picks up a mouse with a cord on it and says, computer, and he's trying to tell the computer what to do. which would be the AI based on LLM that we actually have now, but it was laughable then because it didn't exist anyway. So the stuff that we all know that they talked about, right? Doing a generative AI with LLMs on top of your data that's already in Snowflake. You don't have to move the data. You don't have the latency. You don't have the cost, the security issues with moving the data. What, are you going to move all your data? What would that cost? How long would that take? Oh my gosh. So what do you do with that? Well, you learn about it, come up to speed, you know what, have a sense of urgency and run towards, take advantage of all of the advantages, competitive marketplace advantages you can get from that. This, whoever gets there first, you know, those companies are going to be on top and lead the other companies. So that's huge. And so I need to dedicate time to that so that I can help people and promote that. And that's my responsibility as a data superhero, right? And dynamic tables, I think, are pretty cool. Private, public preview, simplifying the streaming, and the easier it is, you know, old school, it took a lot of people and a lot of time, and no one has enough people, no one has enough time. So the easier you make it, which Snowflake has done, the wider the adoption, the better the process. There's a lot to it, but just at a high level, dynamic tables, I think, are going to be really powerful and another competitive advantage for Snowflake. Those are my top three right there.
Wow, that's some great input and feedback, everybody, and I appreciate your input. As many have stated, Snowflake Summit will be in San Francisco next year, so I look forward to seeing you all there. And now I'm going to go back to exploring all the new features that came out in Snowflake and were announced this past year. And we'll see you all next time on our next episode of Behind the Cape. Thank you.